Hey, what is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video on my sports Gematria. Interesting Final Four outcomes here. We have North Carolina upsetting Duke, and we have Kansas beating Villanova. Before I get into this video, I'm not going to make it a long video. I just want to show you some interesting connections I thought were fascinating, mostly around the 81 points as both teams scored 81. Before I get into that, though, I just want to show you my picks, okay? I did pick Kansas to beat Villanova. Let me bring up it on a bigger screen. Okay, so before I get into this is no after the fact Gematria. This isn't after the games are over. I did make picks on these games. I did guess Kansas. I guessed Kansas to win, and I guessed it right. And I also guessed North Carolina to win, and I guessed it right. If you guys saw my picks preview video, I expressed how these games were not easy games. So if you were struggling to figure out which side to be on, you're not alone, because I was also struggling. I said these were going to be guesses, and I did guess Kansas, and I did guess North Carolina. Interesting how it still worked out that way. You know, I chalk it up as to being able to guess stuff like this. I chalk it up to so many games that I've done. Like I've picked. Let me see. Let's go on my Patreon. So just on my Patreon alone, I'm over 3,700 games in just over a 2-year period, and I picked thousands of more before that. So it's almost kind of like if if somebody was like practicing their jump shot, if they just did like 5,000 jump shots in a row, you create that muscle memory, right? And that way, when you're in a situation or a tricky situation or time consuming situation or a very heavy situation where you have to make that jump shot, whatever, you just hope muscle memory will kick in and just hit it for you. Kind of the same thing with these picks. I've done so many picks over and over and over again, to where when I come into a sketchy situation like these games, to where it's kind of like, I don't know which side, I'm hoping muscle memory will just kick in and just do it for me. And it kind of did here with Kansas and North Carolina. So I got lucky, guessed those right. I'm happy. But I wanted to talk about is North Carolina won with 81 points. Kansas won with 81 points. Very interesting, I think, because today was the first day of the 8th month on the Hebrew civil calendar. I talked about this in the pick preview video, how 1881 North Carolina can get their 143rd all-time head-to-head win against Duke. That would be something I would look towards, because it's the first day of the 8th month. The 8th seed North Carolina could win, and the number 1 seed Kansas could win, like 8-1-1-8. Both of them just so happened to have won with 81 points. And then North Carolina got their 143rd all-time head-to-head win against Duke. And 18 equals 143. So the 1 seed and the 8 seed won. They both won with 81 points on the first day of the 8th month for the Hebrew civil calendar, like 1-8, 18, 81, whichever way you want to look at it, 18/81. And if you don't think the Hebrew civil calendar actually even matters, you think it's just coincidence, it kind of is. Kansas's next game is going to be their 163rd NCAA tournament game as a team. Their 163rd game is going to be the championship game. And the reason why I bring that up is because the championship game is going to be played on the 3rd day of the 8th month for the Hebrew civil calendar, like 3/8, like 38. Mathematically, 163 is the 38th prime number. Kansas is going to be playing their 163rd tournament game on the 3rd day of the 8th month for the Hebrew civil, like 38. The 1 seed versus the 8 seed, they both won on the first day of the 8th month, like 1/8. On top of that, Kansas Jayhawks comes to 163, the 38th prime number. Finals championship game will be played on the 3rd day of the 8th month. It will be their 163rd tournament game. It'll be a day with 50-date numerology on the Gregorian. This is their 50th appearance, Kansas, in the tournament. Their coach sitting on 229 losses, 229 losses for his career, the 50th prime number. What is his name? Bill Self, I think it is. I don't think I found anything with his stuff. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Bill Self. Is that his name? Bill Self. Kansas coach. Yeah. So Bill Self sums to 139, the 34th prime number. And if Kansas wins it all, they win it with picking up their 34th win for the season. So if you were to put a gun to my head right now, I would say Kansas is winning the NCAA championship game. However, I am going to do a pick preview video on it. So I'm going to have the number set up for Kansas. I am going to have the number set up for North Carolina. I am going to give it a fair shake for both sides. I'm going to see some narratives for North Carolina to win, and I'm going to see some narratives for Kansas to win. So I am going to do a fair shake and go over both those sides. However, if you were to put a gun to my head right now, this instant, like pick right now without doing any of that or die, I would just go ahead and pick Kansas to win the championship. But we'll see. We'll see if that will be my final pick. All my picks will always be in writing, underlined, and italicized on my Patreon page, exactly like this. Underline, italicized, in writing, underline, italicized, in writing. It'll be the first thing that I write within the paragraph for the pick. I give out the side that I like, and then the alternative side is the other side of the coin. That way you have both sides to choose from or both sides to see, and then you can make up your own mind regardless of what side I am on. So hopefully you guys thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting. Both of them with 81 points, the number 1 seed and the number 8 seed, both winning their game with 81 points on the first day of the 8th month, like 1/8 or 8/1. And then we have the championship game on 3/8. Kansas Jayhawks 163, the 38th prime. They'll be playing their 163rd NCAA tournament game as a team. But anyway, hopefully you guys had a great day. I know a lot of people on my page, well, not a lot of people. I know it was kind of mixed on my page. Some people had North Carolina upsetting Duke. Some people had Villanova upsetting Kansas. Some people had both upsets happening, and some people had both favorites happening. So it was definitely a mixed bag for everyone. I hope everyone had a great day at the very least. And I really appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support. And I wish you guys the best of luck. And I'll see you in the picks preview video for the actual championship game that I will be doing for North Carolina and Kansas. Thanks, guys.